thank Penn State Law Department for this great opportunity. So today we are going to talk about Saudi Arabia, the country which located in the Middle East. In this presentation, we try to focus on matter related to individuals, how the individuals in Saudi Arabia think. We kind of going to give you an insight inside the country, what the people are thinking, what's keep their mind busy. So we are going to give you some aspect about our culture and our economy development as well, and the Saudians' dream as well. So let's go ahead and start the first section, which is culture. So there's three main things that we are going to talk about. First thing, which is some of the cities, some of the famous cities in Saudi Arabia. These five cities is not the only cities that existed in Saudi Arabia, but it's a mix between modern cities and historical cities. So the first city, which is Riyadh, the capital city of the Saudi Arabia, which is here, located in the east, in the mid-east of the country, and its population reached to 8.2 million. His Highness, Royal Highness Prince Crown Mohammed bin Salman has announced that there will be a package of projects that will be done in Riyadh with amount of money of $200 billion. So giving to these investment, and there will be a lot of job opportunities. So giving to that, the expected population will be double by 2030. So this is some of the scene of the capital city of Riyadh. This is the center of Riyadh, which is the most expensive real estate in the city, and I believe in the country in general. And this is the other scene. This is the King Abdullah Financial District, which is several of building and towers that will open, I believe, this year. This is also the it's called the Masmak Palace, which is the palace that the establisher, King Abdulaziz, when he was ruling the kingdom. So the second city is Mecca, which is the most visited Islamic city in the world, giving to the holy mosque inside of it. So it is one of the oldest cities in the world. It has been founded thousands of years ago. This is Mecca, and the whole region as well called Mecca. And it's the city located near the western coast as well. So the population of the region, the whole region, reaches to 8.5 million. So this is the Holy Mosque, and this is the first photographic picture was taking to the Holy Mosque. It was taking, I believe, 126 years ago. And if you could see the building, the houses here. So the normal people just living near to the Holy Mosque and go to it. So their life was very simple in that here. But now everything is different, giving to the modern life. So as you could see here, the towers and building around, which is hotels, basically, to allow the visitor to come to and to do their prayers. So this picture was taken in Ramadan, which is the month that Muslims are fasting, and it is known that a lot of Muslims people go to Mecca in that period of time. So the capacity of this mosque is maybe a million or around of that huge number. The third city is, which is Al-Madinah. It is the second visited city by Muslims after Mecca, and its population reached to 2.3 million as well. The fourth city, which is now we will leave from the modern city to the historical cities. This city called Al-Ula. It's located northwest of Saudi Arabia. It is a historical city. A lot of monuments and dams were existed in this city in the 1700 BC. So this is one of the pictures of the building that the Nabanians, I think, or Al-Anbat, they called, were living. And the magnificent thing about them that they built their house from the rocks, which is very amazing and unique. This is also it's called the Mirror Theater, which is the biggest mirror theaters around the globe. And as you could see, the design of it meant to be like that to meet the nature needs. So you could see the reflect of the nature. And if you could, if you go inside, it is transparency. So you could, you still will see what is outside. So. And the last city, which is Al-Ukhdud, it is a small village in the south of the country, and it has more than 100 monuments, which is the most monuments were existed in the country. I'm not sure if it's around the world, but it's in the country. So we will leave now to the education. Mada?
Thank you, Ibrahim. Before I begin, I just want to welcome my mother, who is joining us here among the audience. And then I'm going to start with education. So education in Saudi Arabia is, the government in Saudi Arabia has believed that it wouldn't develop, the country wouldn't develop if it didn't invest in its people. So it paid a lot of attention to education since the beginning of the country. I'm going to talk about education before 1946, and then I'm going to move on to 1946 and afterwards. So before 1946, the only thing existed and have been encouraged by King Abdulaziz was Al-Katatib. Al-Katatib basically were a group of people who knew how to write and read. They gather children like from once in a while to teach them Quran, to teach them Quran and to teach them reading and writing, the basics of reading and writing. It wasn't something like developed. But after 1946, can we go
Yeah.
to the next slide? After in 1946, King Abdulaziz believed that Al-Katatib is not enough to the country's vision and to where he wanted the country to go to. So he initiated the first official school, which was Dar al-Tawheed. He connected, or this school was supervised by the royal court, which means that it was supervised by him directly. It was located in Al-Taif in order to encourage people to let their children go to school, because people at the time didn't allow their children to go to school. They needed their children to work with them in their business, for example, watching their sheep and other things. So he encouraged people, in order to encourage people to let their children go to school, he created committees. These committees' specific job was to go to people, to parents' house, and start to convince them that they need to let their children go to school and get education. He also gave awards to kids who went to school and get education. Then after this, schools became more popular around the country. But again, the government saw that this wasn't enough to the message or the development that Saudi Arabia is seeking. So the first university was established in 1956, if I'm not mistaken. Can we go, Ibrahim, to higher education? Oh, okay, I was close. In 1957, it was the first university was King Saud University. It was located in Riyadh. It started basically with two colleges. The first college was College of Literature. It teaches Arabic major, history major, geography, and basic things. And the other college was the College of Science. It also wasn't having that much of majors. Currently, currently, King Saud University has 21 colleges, and currently in Saudi Arabia, going from one college, we have 28 public universities, and we have other universities which are private. And I want to emphasize to the fact that 28 public university, most of them provide education, higher education for free. Okay, so literacy ratio. In Saudi Arabia, in 1955, the literacy ratio was 60%. But because of the government efforts and their belief that education is important to the citizen and to the country, the current ratio has reached below 5.6%. Okay, so moving on from education. Oh, sorry, yeah. So some of you are wondering, where does women education stand in all of this? Well, women used to get education in al-Katatib, similarly as men did in the beginning. But then King Saud believed that, okay, I'm going to support women education and I want to be a role model to encourage families to teach their children, their daughters, because teaching women wasn't really familiar back then. Some of you might wonder, what will 2 or 3 daughters change in like the belief of the Saudi citizens? Actually, King Saud himself had 109 children. So many of them were women. It will make great difference. So King Saud brought 2 students at the beginning, 2 teachers from Egypt to teach his daughters and many of their relatives reading and writing and Al-Quran al-Kareem in his palace. But then when his daughters got excited and thrilled to learn more, he brought from Palestine more teachers and to teach the girls reading, writing, and other sciences such as math, history, and other things. And later in 1956, King Saud University opened the first program, I would say, to women and allowed them to study in the college. I just want to remind everyone, feel free to ask anything. If you have anything, feel free to make comments. So, okay. Moving on from education, we wanted to share with you traditional sports in Saudi Arabia. Basically, traditional sports, there are 2 important sports. First, which are, there are many, but we wanted to focus on 2 sports. First, the equestrian sport, and second, the camel racing. Equestrian sport had big attention from the government of Saudi Arabia, and that is because of its urgence. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has encouraged Muslims to teach their children 3 things. First, to teach them swimming. 2, to teach them archery, and 3rd, to teach them horseback riding. So it is important. This is why the government paid a lot of attention. Also because horses got a big deal of the Arabs' culture and attention and the history. I think many of you are aware that Arabic horse has is one of the most valuable horses, if it's not the most valuable horse around the world. And I'm not just bragging about it, but the price can reach to millions of dollars depending on the heritages of the horse. Ibrahim, if it's possible, can you go to the origins? I just want to see them. Show them the picture of the Arabic horse. This is the Arabic horse, if you're interested to see it. Moving on to Saudi Arabian role. Moving on to the Saudi Arabian role in this aspect, it created the Equestrian Federation, which focused on show jumping sport, endurance sport, and marathon sport. Okay, so what is this sport future in Saudi Arabia? Saudi Arabia is currently, or part of its vision is to have world. Ibrahim, can you move to the other slide, please?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. So the vision of it didn't move.
Yeah, I having trouble to move. Wait a second.
Okay. Okay. So it's part of its vision is to host the to host championships in Saudi Arabia for equestrian sport, and it's already begun and accomplishing this vision. In 2020 and 2021, Saudi Arabia has hosted the Saudi Cup. It's considered the most valuable horse race. And actually, it was 3 weeks ago. It happened 3 weeks ago in February. The award itself reaches to more than $20 million. Okay. So when we speak about the horseback riding, I want to go to another part of the event. The Saudi Cup. I want to go to another event that was alongside. That was alongside showing in the Saudi Cup. So, which is the cultural customs. You're having trouble in moving. Oh yeah, sorry.
No,
you can, but we can go back to this.
So yeah, so the second traditional sport. This is so exciting, you guys, because I kept hearing these questions hundreds of times. And like since I came here to US in 2019, and when people know I am from Saudi Arabia, the first question I got, do you really eat camels? So the answer of that question, yes, we eat camels. But before, so yeah, we are going to talk about the camel racing, but as many of you don't know anything what we are doing with camels, so it is good to have a little introduction about camels. So camels has a very great value to a Gulf countries. So a Gulf countries is Saudi Arabia and Kuwait and Al-Bahrain and Qatar and Emirates and Oman. These 6 countries called Golden Country. So these countries love camels. As the cowboys, there are a camel boys, if the terms are correct. So yeah, so camel are known as a part of the history of Arabic country, and were existed in this area 2000 BC. So it is very historical. And we benefit from its milk, from its meat, and from its skin as well. So about camel racing, the race, the camel, so it's held annually in Riyadh or any Golden city as well. And the speed of the camels may reach to 64 kilometers per hour, but it's without a rider. So the camel would race without any rider. It's not like horses. And there are some clans that do a camel racing, but it's illegal, where they use like children between 12 and 15 who are very trained to ride a camel. But it's illegal in Saudi Arabia, but some crazy people do it. Most of the camel racing without rider, and camel racing awards may reach to $23 million. So it is very huge. So there is also a festival for camels, which called Morgeva. That's so funny because I believe I am the first one who mentioned this visitable to international students. So the visitable is held annually as well, and it is a very big visitable which hold in one place. It's a small village, I believe, called Morgeba in Saudi Arabia, where a lot of people from Gulf country go to this place and buy the most expensive camels in the world. So the value of some of these camels may reach above $1 million, which is very crazy in my opinion. But that's one of the traditional. So let's move to other topic, which is traditional food.
Before you, I
Go ahead. Abdul Majid, do you have a
camel's
question?
milk. Yeah, camel's milk. Can you talk about it a little bit?
Well, you talk about it because you're from Saudi Arabia. So, yeah, we drink camel's milk, like a lot of people drink the cow milk. So, yeah, I don't know what else I could talk about.
When I search about it in the United States, it's very expensive, and you cannot find it. I mean, maybe it's popular in Texas. I'm not sure where, but it's very expensive. One bottle maybe $60.
Oh, are you saying that they are selling camel milk in the United States?
Yes, the
Oh,
website,
nice.
but this is the way they brought it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for adding this information. So, Nada, we could go to the traditional food and clothes.
Okay. So when we talked about the equestrian sport and Saudi 2021 Cup, I wanted to mention point out on the slogan that was used during the event, which is through heritages we raise the future, and that is because that was used to encourage people to come with wearing their traditional customs from each area. As when King Abdulaziz united the country, there were too many different cultures. And in this event, Prince Mohammed bin Salman invited people to be proud of these cultures and come wearing different customs from each region in the country. So I want to start with the traditional outfits that have been shown, that were shown in the Saudi Cup. So we will see here the Hijazi traditional custom, which was in the which is the western region of the country. There are three customs actually that have shown in the event. This is the other one. And that is the third one from the western side. We can see the different customs in here. And when we move on to the center region, we will see a whole different custom that come from Najd, which is the central of Saudi Arabia. Okay, going to the third region, which is the southern area. This is their traditional custom. And I would like to mention the woman is covering her face because she didn't want to get recognized. Okay. Going to the man traditional custom. So basically it's called thobe. And what they are wearing on their heads is called shmagh or watra. The red one is shmagh and the white one is watra. And moving on from
But
from
Nada,
traditionally, yes.
I do have a question. So isn't there like a different outfit for men's in Najd and Western and the South and in the North,
There is,
or
yes,
is it the
there
same?
is. No, there is two different customs, too many different customs, but I am focusing specifically on what have been shown on the Saudi Cup in 2021.
Okay.
We cannot discuss the traditional custom without going to traditional food. And so I wanted to start with the most famous dish in Saudi Arabia. And probably if you meet someone from Saudi Arabia, they will probably talk about this one. This one is called mfatah or mfatah. It is rice, lamb over rice. And this is type of, it shows kind of generosity because lamb is kind of expensive. It's not cheap as chicken. So you will see this mostly in celebrations in Saudi Arabia. And like it is the most famous traditional food. It's located basically, usually in Najd, but many countries, many other cities use it. Okay, so again, with Najd, or the center region of Saudi Arabia, we have Jarish and Margoug. And then moving on to Al-Hijaz, you will find familiar dish in there, which is manto, or maybe most of you knows it as dumpling. Dumpling came, basically it's not from Saudi Arabia originally. It comes from the Asian culture, but because pilgrims comes to Saudi Arabia each year, they brought this traditional food, their traditional food to Mecca and to the Western region. And there is Sadiq. Okay, we're gonna go to the southern area. You will find that their food doesn't actually use rice that much or lamb. You will find that it focuses on flour, on wheat, as you can see in here. We have arika, tandoor bread. We have margash, which is cooked in stone dish, I think, in the oven. And please, people from southern area, if I'm mistaken, correct me. Feel free to correct me. Okay.
Is any of the cuisine traditionally spicy? Like, I'm from Latin America, so some countries have more of a spicy food versus others. I'm curious, with Arabian cuisine, is it usually hot, spicy?
No. We like to add spices, but it's not basically as spicy. Or
Exactly, yes. Yeah. I would say we add spicy, but it's not spicy originally.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay. So the second category, which is very important to us as individuals from Saudi Arabia right now during these years, because it's the talk of the street, it's the talk of the country right now. It is impossible to talk with, like, for me to talk with other Saudi without mentioning the economy in Saudi Arabia. So in the past, the only income that was existed is to the economy of Saudi Arabia is oil. Since the beginning of its existence. So like 80 years until 2015, the only income was the oil. But now you guys, now the country want to move from developing country to developed country. It's like Malaysia and Singapore and China when they have done their magnificent transmission to be one of the strongest economy in the world. So it is the same case here. So we need to have a diversity of income because the oil now it's unsettled, sometimes increasing, sometimes decreasing. So the public investment fund launched its strategic plan to invest in a large number of companies around the world. So giving to that, the Saudi Arabia has also announced a big vision, which is a very huge plan called Vision 2030. They have been working on it. They had been worked on it in 2015, and they had announced it in 2016. The three primary goals of this vision is three things: a vibrant society and thriving economy and ambitious nation. So all the plan that will be made and that was made from 2015 to 2030 to meet these goals needs. And the vision has a lot of purposes and a lot of plan, but we will be focusing in just one aspect of the vision, which is the tourism and entertainment. Nada, go ahead.
So many of you were like, many of the people wanted to visit Saudi Arabia before, and like they feel like there is kind of ambiguity about the nature of Saudi Arabia and how to visit and how. So before 2018, I think coming to Saudi Arabia was really difficult. You cannot enter Saudi Arabia without having an inside invitation. Yet, so the Saudi Arabian government, as Ibrahim mentioned, now is working on expanding the investments in Saudi Arabia, and it focused on tourism. So now many countries, if people are planning to come to Saudi Arabia, they can initiate their electronic visa in the airport inside of Saudi when they arrive. Moving on to where can you go in Saudi Arabia? So there are many things that is happening in Saudi Arabia currently, but I want to focus on two parts, or mention two parts, because each year is different. Each year they're coming up with more activities. So we have in here Winter Wonderland. Winter Wonderland was hosted in 2018. Yes, 2018. Basically, Winter Wonderland came from London, and it was hosted in Saudi Arabia to encourage tourism to come to Saudi Arabia. And then we have this historical place, which is Al-Ula. Ibrahim have already talked about where is it located, but I just wanted to show you what you can do in Al-Ula. You can enjoy dinner, fancy dinner in the desert, and you can do camping in RVs in the desert in Al-Ula, looking to the beautiful mountains and to the beautiful sky in there. These are currently the two famous activities, but I know that after Corona, there will be much more better activities than these two. Moving on, next slide.
Yeah, so So the other aspects of the tourism and entertainment, and we know it's very important to our community. So and it's very important for the income of the country as well. So the country, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, has announced that there will be a future city that will be made from zero, uh, which are these three cities. There's more. There's the total of them. I believe it's five, but I'm going to talk about the top three of them. So uh, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it's called NEOM. NEOM is very large project, and the size of this city is as size as Belgium, and they investing around $5 billion, which is a very high number, and they want to create like a new city with a clean energy, with where no street is existed, where no like pollution. Everything is just nature, and it will help the nature, and it will help um, the area as well. So this city is for dreamers, as His Highness Prince, the Royal Prince Crown Mohammed bin Salman has said. Um, yeah, and the other city, which called Amala. First of all, each of these city has a purpose and has a goal, and Amala has its purpose and goal as well. And Amala will be focusing. Also, it's a new city. It's not. There is no people are existed now, but in the near future, like in the next 5 years, there will be uh, like some projects here, and the purpose of this city to focus on the three things: wellness, sports, and Sunsea lifestyle, and art and culture. So as you could see, there, here the Amala city, and here is the Neom and Al Ula, which is the historical city that we talked about. And here is Jeddah and Mecca as well. So it's both of them are in the western side. So the last city, which called Al Qiddiya, which located near from Riyadh. The large of it, I believe, the size of it as large as I believe it's Washington D.C. So the project is very very big, and the purpose of it for entertainment and sports. So there will be a meg projects to be established in Al Qiddiya. So the framework is to meet the Vision 2030 needs to diversify the economy of the country. So these three cities are like every Saudis talking about this city. We always talk about it all the time. So now we have talked about three aspects. Some of you might wonder, what is Saudians' dream? What are they thinking? What keep their mind busy? And this is there are two things, but it's more than that. But we me and Nada think about these things. Maybe the other friends who attend this maybe should share their aspect as well. So Nada, go ahead and start.
Okay. So yes, our dream is to not be a developing country. Rather, we want it to be a developed country, but with our own vision. What does this mean? It means that we want to strengthen the national identity. We want to match the other developed country and yet keep the identity that we have. And how would we reach that goal? Through to three points. First, can you, I don't know, is it, yeah, it changed. So we wanted to keep true to our national values and principles. And by talking about that, we want to keep the Islamic values, yet be considered, because Islam has encouraged us to grow our country and to expand our country and to be developed country, and also keeping our Arab values, such as generosity, such as courage, such as strong families. And then there is another thing that we want to focus on to keep our identity and also being a developed country. The other thing is the Arabic language. When we speak about Arab, we want to keep upholding the Arab language. And maybe I haven't shared pictures about that, but also in the Saudi Cup 2021, the theme was using the Arabic font or the Arabic art on horses and on the walls and in the decorations. So this is, again, our dream, being a developed country and keeping our identity. Moving to you, Ibrahim.
Yeah, so the last small section, which is the ambitious dream of the future. So a lot of people now, including me, including some of the audience as well, dreaming about what will happen in the next 10 years until the vision ends. Are we going to succeed in our plan as a community or not? That's a big challenge that keep our mind busy. So it's so exciting time for us as Saudis to attend and to see these a lot of changes in Saudi Arabia in terms of economic matters.
I have a question.
Okay, thank you for listening. And your question.
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So my question is, Nada, you spoke about the Arabic language. So I was wondering, this is something not exclusively to Saudi Arabia, also in other Arab countries. They don't use the Arabic numbers. What is Arabic numbers?
Okay, just correct me if I didn't get your question right. So you're asking if what are we doing to keep or improve the Arab language in Saudi Arabia?
I was actually asking why Saudi Arabia is not using the Arabic numbers.
The Arabic numbers. That's really good question, Amir. I think that's an issue around the Arab countries, not just Saudi Arabia. It's kind of confusing when we say Arabic numbers and Indian numbers, and the Western culture is using the Arabic numbers and we are using the other numbers. So I don't know, but I think it's just a matter of custom, and we got accustomed to it. I hope it's going to be fixed in the future around the Arab countries, not just in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, Nirman, I believe you have a question. Nirman?
So sorry.
That's fine.
Okay, we have, I think, 8 minutes for questions. So if anyone, feel free to open your mics and ask your question.
There is a question in the chat. If there's a rule for the clothing for men, if someone would like to dress with the traditional clothing from Ricardo.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave this question to Ibrahim.
So what is the question again?
If there's any rules regarding clothing for men, if someone would like to dress like traditional clothing, so rules with attire for the men.
Yeah, so there is no rule. It's if I understand the question correctly, it's so easy to dress the man traditional uniform. So it's not like the Western suit. It's complicated to wear it, but the Saudis uniform is so easy in terms of this. But there are a lot of going on in the top, which is extremely difficult for those of whom who not from Gulf country. So
I just want to take a moment again to welcome Ahmed Al-Dakhil, the president of the Saudi Student Organization, for his existence with us in here, and the Saudi Student Organization also members. So
I think you might
I think he's raising his hand.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, Ahmed, and then Linda is next after.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for this great presentations. Thanks, Ibrahim and Nada. I literally learned a lot. I have some or it's just one small question in terms of as an international students, how should we approach our vision in Saudi Arabia? What's our responsibilities here in the United States as internationals? Is there also any responsibility as international students, as the Saudis that study here in the United States? What do you think about this perspective?
Okay, so thank you, Ahmed, for your question. We talked about education and the role of education to develop the country and how the Saudi government invested in education. So the government, one of the government goals to give us scholarship and send us to other countries is to bring other sciences and other knowledge to the country and then benefit from them. I told you the biggest investment to Saudi Arabia, and Prince Mohammed bin Salman have emphasized this many times, is in its youth. So your role is to get education, to get the knowledge, and come back, share it with the country. This is the best thing you can do.
And I think I would add something which is important for us as Saudis. The development in Saudi Arabia is huge. So I would advise my colleagues from Saudi Arabia to talk about these projects, to give an introduction about the Vision 2030, because it's so it's our passion right now. So I would emphasize on this area as well.
Should we share our culture here? Should we teach international students how to write in Arabic? What's our cultures? What's the our main cuisines in Saudi Arabia? Or we should just learn whatever here and go back to our home country?
That's a very good question, and I remember back when I was studying the language in Nebraska state, there was a very big festival for the international uniforms, and I was the only Saudians in the city that represents Saudi Arabia. So I have my traditional uniform, and I had giving them. I would give you guys the dates if we are in the normal days without COVID. So yeah, it is so important to share the culture. It is so important for me as Saudis.
I would add to Ibrahim something that Dean Stephen Barnes have said to us since day one, and maybe in our interviews to be accepted, is that we are ambassadors to our countries. So when we share cultures, we are ambassador to the country. Whatever we are doing, the way we are talking, the way we're dressing, we are ambassadors to the country. So yes, maybe this will just give a conclusion to all what we have shared today.
Yeah. So there is another question from Zoom user, but
there's one more question, and maybe that'll be the last question for the session. If you want to go ahead.
Am I up? I think I was after Ahmed.
Oh, Linda, you still have a question? Okay, so Linda and
yeah.
Okay, go ahead,
I still
Linda.
have a question. So my question is, first of all, Ibrahim and Nada, thank you so much. It was a lovely presentation. We've learned a lot from the two of you. So my question is, you talk about your dreams and goals as the two of you, and I'm hoping, and you said it well, you are carrying the torch of the country as ambassadors. So you spoke about your vision of moving from developing to a developed country, which is, I think, is ambitious and good and commended for that. But I was thinking that perhaps it would be naive for us to think that the two of you will carry that dream. But I think if you do attach it with accountability to it, as you do, as you said, Neda, that you are the ambassador. So I think if we are talking about moving into that and the characteristics of developed world, not only the rise of GDP, but also the cultural aspect to it and how we carry ourselves, etc. So I guess if you attach with accountability as the two of you, what would you do next, and not to be a brain drain, maybe to go and really be the leaders of your communities and country. Perhaps that way you could realize the dream. So good luck.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you so much. But I would add something very small, which is the culture is a part of our community. We live in it. But the dreams, it's about the future. It's not about the present or in the past. Of course, we are very proud of our culture. But we talked about small aspects as well as the other categories of the dream of Saudians. It may be it's our perspective, how we think, and also there are two speakers. So we didn't give you just one perspective. It's two perspectives to know Saudi Arabia and how they think better. But thank you so much for this.
Linda, I honestly don't think I understand the question well, but I just want to add something that yes, we shared the dreams. It is Ibrahim and my dream, but in the same time, this is the vision dream, that what we are trying to achieve as a community as whole, not as one, or not as me and Ibrahim. So every one of us currently here existing in the United States is sharing this dream. Every youth in the country is sharing that dream with us. So yeah, we wanted to hold on to the culture, and then we wanted to move to be a developed country. I hope this is answering your question. If it's not, please feel free to say anything.
No, it's good. It's good. I just wanted to get your perspective on that. But I share the same with you, but I was saying that the accountability part should be attached to jumping to the developed world. That's what I I was adding into it. But yeah, lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think the last question is from Zoom user. I don't know your name, so.
Hi,
Hi.
I am Samira. I want to say something. Thank you for you, Ibrahim and Nada. And I want to edit information. From our religion and our traditions, we have a rule that honoring the guest is 3 days and nights. So our friends from all over the world, the first 3 days are free. Welcome to Saudi Arabia. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you again. This was such an insightful presentation. I really appreciate not only the time and energy that went into presenting. So thank you, Nada and Ibrahim, but also the conversation that we had afterwards. Really appreciate the dialogue. We hope you will join us for future sessions. Our next one will be Thursday, March 18th, a presentation on Ghana by one of our SIA students. And we'll have about 4 more for the rest of the semester. So thank you again for joining us, and I wish you all a wonderful week. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Claudia. Bye.
Bye-bye.